Hello everyone, now you will hear a short retelling of the movie Kingdom of the Full Moon. Enjoy your viewing. The year is 1965. The action takes place on a 16-mile island. Ivanhoe Camp is located on its territory. A member of the Boy Scout troop, Worth, inspects a makeshift restroom, as well as a house that was built by the guys too high above the ground. The insect-burning kid was reprimanded for his sloppy uniform. The other two are working on fireworks for the Hullabaloo holiday. The redhead received a warning for riding a motorcycle too fast. During breakfast, it turned out that one of the Boy Scouts was missing. Sam Chikoski is holed up in his tent and is not responding. After a brief analysis of the situation, Worth discovered a hole behind the map through which his ward had escaped. He had to distract Captain Sharp from fishing and inform him that one of the scouts had disappeared, taking with him an air rifle with Nastia and a canoe. Sharp's first suggestion was to notify Sam's parents of the incident, but his parents are adopted, and after this prank they are not going to accept the boy back into the family. Allegedly, he is mentally unstable, so it would be better for the islanders to immediately call the social service. Worth orders the squad to use their orienteering skills to find their missing comrade. The guys are clarifying whether it will be possible to use force if the fugitive resists. Hearing no, the boys nevertheless decided to arm themselves with clubs with nails, axes and hunting knives. Snoop was given a sniff of Sam's sock, and now the doggy is running on his trail. A policeman is asking local residents if they have seen a boy with glasses. He also visited the Bishop family. Mr. Bishop doubts that a 12-year-old boy could have reached the opposite shore of the island by canoe. Afterwards, Mrs. Bishop drove up to Captain Sharp, who was staying nearby. She is cheating on her husband with a cop, which did not go unnoticed by her 12-year-old daughter Susie. In the evening, Counselor Ort records an audio report and admits that no one at the camp liked Sam. Meanwhile, in Chikoski, a boy in glasses and a raccoon hat continues his journey. He moored to the shore and sprinkled leaves on the canoe. Susie, who had also run away from home, was already waiting for him at the appointed place with her things. The story of the relationship between the two teenagers began a year earlier. The children from the camp were brought to the church to watch a theatrical performance. Bored, Sam went outside and then made his way to the women's locker room. He immediately set his eyes on Susie, who played Raven. The girl's arm was injured. She broke the mirror when she lost her temper. Sam realized that he and Susie looked a lot alike. After the performance, she handed Sam a note asking him to write to her. Susie was convinced that there was no tail behind her, and she decided to take her kitten with her. Sam handed the girl a bouquet and planned their next journey. Sam sometimes puts leaves on his head to cool it and immediately gets the advice to at least sometimes just take off his fur hat. He advises Susie if she feels the urge to suck on a small stone. The path of our heroes runs through the forest, streams and rocks. Sam's intelligence and knowledge of scouting helps him cope with all the associated difficulties. Be careful with the turtles. They'll bite you if you stick your fingers in their mouths. Okay. It was a turtle named Albert that Sam caught, but Susie caught a fish. During dinner, it turned out that Susie, in addition to the kitten, had taken a whole box of canned cats on the road, as well as a healthy record player. Well, the largest suitcase was filled to the brim with her favorite books. You can read it if you want. Thank you. It turned out that Susie was a little criminal, because the books were library books and their return period had expired a long time ago. She found a book from her parents called How to Deal with a Difficult Child, and was very upset about it. Sam giggled, which offended Susie, and she hid from her companion in the tent. Sam came to apologize and handed Susie a handkerchief to wipe away her tears. Puffing on his pipe and listening to one of Susie's fairy tales, Sam dozed off. In the evening, Mrs. Bishop discovered that her daughter had run away from home. The lover was hiding near the house and he immediately got the task to find the girl. Mr. Bishop complains that Susie is causing him a lot of trouble and she has no friends. But Sharp has revealed himself. Soon, Mrs. Bishop found a box of Sam's letters. They had been planning an escape for a long time. In the letters, the children talked about their everyday lives. Sam, for example, set fire to a doghouse in a dream. And Susie broke a window by throwing a rock at her mother. Children are constantly fighting and swearing. In the end, they realized that they were made for each other and agreed to run away. The next day, Mrs. Bishop tells her lover that her husband has known about them for a long time. The search party split into two squads. The fugitives are being looked out for on the plain. The armed group found the couple first. The red-haired leader declares that the fugitives have no rights, but they have the authority and they will not go to any negotiations. Sam warned the scouts not to approach or step over the stick. The fight was short but fierce. The scout troop is running away as fast as they can. I can really get mad, the girl says, looking at the bloody scissors in her hands. She stuck them in the small of the redhead's back. Sam shot the other scout in both arms. Unfortunately, Red shot his dog with an arrow. Adults accuse each other of not raising their daughter well, while others don't keep track of their scouts. The showdown was stopped by the historian who taught Sam cartography. The boy has long dreamed of repeating the migration path of the Chico tribe, so he knows where to look for him. The children reached the bay and immediately jumped into the water. Now they are drying their clothes, and the young artist is painting a portrait of his companion. Sam made her jewelry out of beetles and fishing snags and, in fact, manually pierced the girl's ears. Closer to sunset, the boy warns that he might wet himself in his sleep so that Susie wouldn't be offended by him. Later, the children confessed their love for each other and danced on the shore. It wasn't for nothing that they dragged the record player with them. Then Sam kissed Susie. She also offered to kiss in French, with tongues. It was probably the happiest day of their lives. But the next morning they were woken up by the sound of a motorboat. Everyone who participated in the search has arrived here. Mr. Bishop lifted the tent, and his wife pulled Susie away from the boy. Worth immediately handed the ward a letter from his adoptive parents, saying that they could not take him back. Mr. Bishop warns his daughter that this is the last time she has seen the boy, and according to one of the brothers, she has betrayed the family. Worth feels sorry for Sam. He didn't know that the guy was an orphan. Sharp contacted the social worker, who would fly in to pick up the boy the following evening. The woman says that Sam Chikoski will go to an orphanage, but before that he will undergo an examination. He will probably need psychological help in the form of electroshock therapy, because, apparently, the boy is violent. Mrs. Bishop wanted to have a heart-to-heart conversation with her daughter, but she immediately declared that she hated her. I know what you're doing with that dumb cop. He's not dumb. And he's not sad, but sad. But a woman also just wants to be with her lover, but she can't. Sharp took Sam in. Cobb also understands the kid and poured him some beer while talking about love affairs. The important one can't sleep. He's so upset about the orphan that he can't even say anything on the recorder. In the tree house, the guys are discussing beauty with Susie or ugly, and one of the cowboys claims that they behaved like jerks. They were supposed to help the orphan, not bully him. It's time to fix everything. Mrs. Bishop decided to break up with the cop, and the guys broke into her house to pick up Susie. Then they went to Sam's place. The squad is going to evacuate the lovers from the island. The cousin of one of the conspirators is a high-level scout at Fort Lebanon, and knows exactly what to do. Mrs. Bishop apologizes to her husband. They have been sleeping in different beds for a long time, but the couple cannot separate because of the children. Now Susie reads for the whole scout troop. Soon, the younger brother discovered that instead of Susie, there was a large, impetuous scarecrow in the bed. Sometime after the ascent, the leader of the hordes realized that he was completely alone in the camp. He immediately reported the loss of an entire squad to the master scout from Fort Lebanon, Pierce. Who is this beauty? I don't know, sir. Cousin Ben was bribed for $56 in change. He has a friend, a crab catcher, who is ready to take Sam with him to carve crabs. It's not easy, but it's better than shock therapy. Sam wonders where the chapel is on the island. He and Susie want to get married. Ben is ready to help them with this too. He is a notary in civil matters. But this is a very serious step, so I sent the young people to discuss everything at the trampoline. We are confident. Okay, then let's go. Ben got married, but refused to give the coins as a gift. After all, it was his fee. But the team pressed, and the bank had to give up. That's how Sam and Susie almost legalized their relationship, and received financial resources for the first time. The scout troop completed its mission, and Ben took the newlyweds to the crab house, but he came back immediately. Susie left her binoculars in the chapel tent. However, the binoculars had already been taken over by the wounded asshole who was lying in the infirmary. He said some nasty things to Sam, and Sam attacked the scout, poking him in the wound with his finger. The redhead made a fuss and alarmed the whole island. Dozens of scouts chased after the troublemaker, and a hurricane hit the island. Sam realized that he needed an emergency escape plan, so he raised the flag up and shouted, "Tried to grab me, you bastards." He was immediately struck by lightning. The guy flew far away, the coins scattered, and the shoes caught fire. But it seems that everything is fine with Tchaikovsky. I'm fine. Worth is already approaching the island, as well as a social worker on a plane. Soon, streams of water broke through the dam, and now they are rushing towards the camp. Due to the threat of flooding, all scouts must take shelter on a hill in the church. Worth rushed into the camp, and Pierce immediately counted him out, relieved him of command, tore off his patch and took the Swiss Army knife. The old man ran into his tent to take medicine, and at that moment a stream of water destroyed the bridge. Pyrotechnics began to explode. Pierce was cut off from the squad, and Worth jumped to his rescue. The scoutmaster threw himself on his back, and he made a heroic leap back. The hero, with the terrified grandfather on his shoulders, led all the children after him. Captain Sharp and the Bishop family had just arrived at the church. The policeman guessed that the naughty squad was hiding behind masks, but he lies to the caseworker that he doesn't know where Sam Tchaikovsky is. The trustees asked the lady not to send the boy to the orphanage. Sharp decided that he would be more convincing by taking a club with nails. The redhead has betrayed the conspirators, but Sam and Susie are not giving up. They climbed out onto the roof and are sitting in the rain. After seeing the adults, the lovers climb the highest tower. If necessary, they will jump into the water and swim away. If it's deep enough down there, of course. Otherwise, they'll break their necks. But then Sharp intervened in their plans. He said he wanted to adopt Sam. The boy is no longer in danger of shock therapy. The trio was about to descend, but then lightning struck the tower. Fortunately, the captain tied a rope around himself and saved the children. The hurricane caused serious damage. The squad is engaged in restoration work. That bay has disappeared, but the grain harvest that year broke all records. Sam now dresses exactly like his adoptive father, and he's always sneaking into the Bishop house, just like his foster father used to.